And recording. Happy Sunday, everybody. I have, of course, Aaron, Alex, and this is Real Talk. Of course, I am Malcolm in the middle, and today we're going to be discussing Vegas. Everybody seems to have a Vegas story. Now Vegas is getting pretty crazy. Alex has just been to Vegas just recently, so we're going to let him grab the floor and talk about the Sphere. Like, oh man, if you haven't seen this thing, it's incredible. So tell us about this crazy experience, my man.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole Vegas experience is pretty adrenaline rushing in a sense, if you get swept up with it, and it doesn't have to be just about gambling, like the sights and architect if you're into that sort of thing, and never mind the food. Lots and lots of options for food, but again, here's where as a Canadian we need to, or as Canadians we need to always factor in the exchange, because
Yeah.
things like Denny's and things like that, and McDonald's, and even for that matter, it's the same price there as it is here. And so if you factor in the exchange rate, we're paying, almost 1.4 per dollar. We're paying like $1.40 per dollar that we spend. Yeah. So it adds up quite fast in that way. But yeah, no, the Sphere is something else to see. It's just as spectacular on the exterior as it is on the interior. No, I mean, to give you an idea, it cost a little over 400. I think it was like 164 US for 2 tickets to watch the show, the Earth show. I think the U2 show was even that much more. I think it was 300 something dollars US during the week, and went up to
There's a U2 show.
U2.
Like
Yeah, they had a
U2 the
U2 show.
band?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah. Actually, it was apparently they were one of the first shows in the Sphere, and their residency I think just ended this week. They're at the Sphere, and so they had like the U2 show, and they had some other shows in between. And so the U2 show would probably run like say 2-3 times a day, and then the other shows would run probably 2-3 times a day, like in between. And they're it's about an hour show, to give you an idea. And so the
U2,
shows,
it's not U2 there, right? It's just like a
it's
video of them,
it's a
or
video of
you
them,
know.
I believe. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get to experience that, but you would think it would actually be U2 there for the price, because their price I think went up as high as 2,000 US, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe they
yeah,
are
yeah.
there.
So
See?
actually, yeah, I think they were actually there for some reason.
Maybe they are
Because,
there.
yeah, because they're talking about them leaving Vegas, and they were how hurt they were about leaving Vegas. So I think it's an actual interactive band experience.
That's
But
insane.
here's where we might be able to maybe YouTube it after they leave. Do you know what I mean? Like it might, I would imagine there should be some videos on YouTube after. Um,
Hey, Alex.
yeah,
Alex,
yeah,
you should have taken your GoPro. You could have been directing us to your own travel site,
yeah. I could have.
right? Because it sounds like it was very, very fast paced and fun. I like that you
No,
mentioned the food, because the food in Las Vegas and the weather is usually the drinks. Like it's the reason they call
oh
it
no,
like
yeah, no,
what do you call it? Like
everything's next
top
level, like
notch.
even
Yeah,
top notch, yeah,
yeah,
and it has to be. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely.
You went, we did a lot of shopping, and actually spent a lot of time in the malls. But here's where like almost every store we went into, they had the music pumping, and I mean like, one sporting store actually had like a DJ, and their Culture Kings. They had like a
Yeah, it's
DJ in
fun.
there. No,
Yeah,
they
it's
had
a
a
lot of fun.
DJ, and yeah, like
Nice.
I think we spent I don't know how many hours in there because of this DJ. Like just did
Yeah.
dancing and trying on clothes and stuff like that. Like it was yeah.
I think too, like Las Vegas has so much for every single like age. Lots of times people think you got to be like a 21 and stuff to experience that. But I took my daughter there many times in our times because it's a easy flight, good weather. And we had so much fun at all these different things, and even at the pool,
Yeah.
Sari. They said you
Oh
leave at the
yeah.
pool, you think you're in a whole other world because you are.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no,
So,
there is quite a bit to do. For everyone really.
yeah.
And
Yeah, but
probably
the
for
US currency is definitely a deterring factor for me for traveling to the United States at this particular time. Because I know when you go to Las Vegas, like you need like we were on a pretty big budget at that time, but if I'm adding 35% onto that, it's like more money, 40%
Oh no,
even,
without a doubt, like
you know,
you have to
so
do the conversion, otherwise
like,
you're
yeah, I'm broke before I get
mm-hmm. Like, I
there,
mean,
you
that's the
know.
nice thing with all inclusives, right? Is because you pay a flat fee, and there's no other surprises. Whereas
know what your budget is, right?
yeah. Whereas
Well,
when
we were doing some comparables like here at the office and with some different people that were tuning into us about the cost of food, because the cost of food and is very, very scary here and all around the world, as we know. So we were talking about, so for me to live in the country of Canada where I'm born and raised, this is how much money I need to make to be able to live a decent lifestyle. I want to live in abundance too. I want to live in abundance and everybody around me for sure. But like for me to
well,
live,
if you want to live in abundance, one thing you do not want to do is spend your time eating at the celebrity chef restaurant in
well,
Vegas.
that's what I'm getting at here. So when we talk about parables for someone like myself, like that one receipt, and I keep all my receipts because I got to submit them to, Canada Play.
Yeah.
And because I'm accountable. That's why I do that. But when I look at the receipts of
Like,
this buys me this here, this buys me this in this country, this buys me
yeah,
this in this country, we're
yeah,
getting pretty off the beaten track here in Canada.
yeah. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm all for experiences and all for
100%.
he's trying anything once. But I recommend people watch Gordon Ramsay's how to cook a steak video and do it themselves at home versus eating at his restaurant in Vegas. That's all I'm saying. Save your money, folks.
At his restaurant. Oh wow. Ouch.
I'm just happy,
And
honestly.
I hear the same for Guy Fieri too. So save your money, folks.
I
No
do want
doubt.
to
Oh
say,
man.
in a quick reflection moment that I'm having right now, is that it was not very long ago that we couldn't even go on these planes and go to these cities and go and enjoy our kids, their family, whatever. So however all that worked out, that we have freedom to do those things, it wasn't that long ago we didn't. So
Yeah, but don't kid yourself. The system, and I call the system
well, it is the
that being the
system, but
powers that be, they have a way to get people to part with their money, if you will. And I call it marketing because people forget that the system is a business. And
right.
so
So I'm not
all
happy.
this lockdown did is make folks that enjoy traveling want to travel that much more and
Of
really
course.
appreciate, like you're saying, the freedom of traveling. So guess
And the
what?
freedom,
The airlines are booked. Prior to
right.
COVID, the airlines
And,
were not booked. The airlines were not jumping. And guess what? The
and
airlines, they pay a huge corporate tax. Huge. Okay. A big part of our air fees is taxes. That's why, for example, the airline cost here is so much different than it is in the US because they have lesser taxes. Okay. And so a big part of, as far as I'm concerned, a big part of this lockdown, other than the cash grab of COVID, never mind other vaccines, was to get people buoyant and moving again. Right? Because sometimes you got to take it away and make people like, oh, I can't have that. Like even
right.
myself, once they said that they threatened with travel, I was like, fuck it, give me that COVID shot. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got it. Right. And
But
so,
in 2024, as I reflect just how that was in my lifetime, that was not too long ago, where I did know that every one of my freedom of rights were like couldn't go to work, couldn't do this. All of a sudden it was just wow, Kenny couldn't even serve at that particular time under the public health orders. So to me, now that I'm like, okay, so where do you want to establish yourself after this global pandemic? What are the fees and taxes that are being put in to what the economic crisis is? And yeah, like like I said, time to leave the country. So me, someone so proud to be from my country, is actually wanting to leave her country again until there's something different.
yeah, leave to where?
That is amazing.
Leave the country to where?
Yeah. Well,
Hello?
mine is heading to Japan for
A more
sure.
peaceful one. And that is where?
Well, we'll see.
Maybe. Oh,
We'll see. We'll see on real time. No, but I'm just saying, so
No.
hold
You
on.
can't make statements. You can't make statements to say we'll see because you don't know where. Then that
Okay,
tells me
I
you
don't
don't
know
know
more,
where.
but I'm saying that
Yeah. Well, so how do you
when
know that there's a more peaceful country to
because
go
I've
to?
traveled around because well,
Okay.
for example,
Okay.
okay, for
So, well, I'm just
one
talking. The
example,
listeners don't know, so maybe let the listeners
one
know.
example then, one place that I have on my list is Gili Tuanga, down in the South
Where's
Indian Ocean, off the
Lithuania.
coast of
Oh, okay.
Indonesia. Gili Tuanga, I have a little beach bar there, or
mm, mm.
I had. Sounds like it's no longer there, but it's peaceful there. The island, no
So why'd you
cars.
leave? Why'd you leave there?
Well, I come back to see my family.
Okay. Don't get
I'm
all
only was
defensive.
there to visit.
We're
I
just
was
trying to
only there to
understand.
visit a couple times. But I like scuba diving, and I like for hobby, I like scuba diving. I like watching the sunset. I like watching the sunrise. I love eating good food. I like listening to live music, and I like to be able to dance if I feel like it. And I get at that particular place, for example, you get all of that. That's just one place. But the reality is, it's 13 hours away from my family. So it has, and you need money. And lots of things.
There you go. So you made a family choice kind of thing.
And right. So that's
Wait
one
a second.
place.
And what was it about money?
You need lots of it. Get cash 24/7. Whether it's selling coconuts or well, another place would be Ghana, Africa. It's beautiful there on the coast because you're right at the ocean. There's a pretty much direct flights. It's not even that far from Canada. So there's places that I don't mind, being for a block of time. As long as it's safe.
I had no idea there was direct flights from Canada to Ghana, Africa. I did not know that.
I think
Really?
they're direct, but
No,
they're
Oh no,
they're
no.
not direct, but I'm
I
just
thought
saying
that's
it's
what you
not like
said. Oh, okay,
days,
my
it's
bad,
like
my
a
bad. I
day
misheard.
and a half or something.
Yeah, no.
So
It
I
usually flies through New York or Amsterdam.
yeah, like I
Yeah,
went
Or
to Ghana,
those
yeah,
Africa.
hubs.
yeah.
I like carried this basket a
But
long time ago that I bought in San Francisco, and it was made in Ghana, Africa. It had a tag on it. Told me all about the story of this basket, and I started carrying this basket around my travels for about 5 years. I still have it. Still carry it around sometimes.
well, I think the
When I
biggest
met,
thing that I think the
so
biggest
when I
thing though
met
is
Alex,
cost of goods or the cost
when
of
I met
living.
So when I met Alex with my basket business,
Cost
and
of
he's from
living
Ghana,
in
Africa,
Canada.
and he has another idea called Afro Extreme TV, I'm all about going to figure out if I can do business in Ghana, Africa, because I love the product that I carry.
Yeah,
No,
because again, the cost of living, like what we're talking about earlier, though, again, for example, to visit Vegas is very, very expensive. But in places like Ecuador or Ghana or Indonesia, for that matter, you can probably do your month's shopping for $50 if you go to the markets. $50 Canadian, that is, if you know where to shop.
Mm-hmm.
That
Maybe
type of
even
thing.
less.
impressive. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
even less. Because you probably have a lot of stuff growing right in your own yard.
Yeah,
So the need to go to the
obviously there
market
isn't like meats and stuff like that in there, but I'm talking like, your fruits, your vegetables, your rice, potatoes, or yams or whatever, plantains, like places like that you can buy in bulk at the market for next to nothing. Still, touch wood.
When you say $50, is that
Mm-hmm.
for one individual or is that for a family?
A family.
Wow. It is
Yeah.
insane.
our
What
money is
what
stretched a
commerce
long
can
way.
do.
Yeah, it's a
But it's also greed of commerce, right? Because they know that we'll pay. So I get it that there's the convenience of everything. Living in Canada, you just go to like, Sobeys or whatever, a restaurant or something to that effect, and then get your goods. But I mean, you go to a market in some of these places, like, I mean, I've been to Jamaican markets in Jamaica or uh, in Costa Rica, and the cost of goods are so much cheaper. Even that bottled
no,
water,
it's different, and yeah, and I mean,
like
I
Yeah,
it's
can
because you're buying it right from
ridiculous.
the farmer, guys.
yeah,
You're
and I
buying it
can only
right
say
from the
that.
farmer.
And I can only say that because I've actually gone along on a few of these shopping just to understand the cost of goods. And literally for under 500 Ghana cities, for example, which is $50 Canadian right now, it was probably less at that time last year. We were able to do shopping for a household of 4 people, which was basically for the month for
And compare it, and they all have really, really big appetites.
Yes,
That would
yeah,
even go further here.
yeah,
That would even go further
yeah.
here because you don't see as many people mounding their plate so much, you know? They eat, but they eat lots.
And out of curiosity, how much is somebody earning when they're working in Ghana?
How much somebody what?
Like, for example, you're a car salesman or
Mhm.
you're working at the drugstore or something like that. What's minimum wage, let's say?
Well, it's
Is
kind of a
minimum
hard
wage higher?
scale because similar to like um Jamaica or some of these places, there's like a two money system. And what I mean by that is there's the markets where the locals go and shop, and so the people working there would, and so there's a lot of cash and carry. And then there's, places where, there's like Sobeys or, McDonald's or KFC or which, the average person here too might be working at type thing. And so
Right.
um And so to go into the average income in Ghana, it's quite skewed. And then I guess it would be same thing here. So to give it an idea, it's probably about 2,350 US dollars per month.
2,350. Okay. So basically
Mhm.
in a year, we'll say you're making
Or actually, hold on.
maybe like
So the
30
average,
grand.
so the living wage though, the living wage according to Google
Mhm.
is 880 Ghana cities.
180
Yeah, and this
living
is in
wage. So that
2015 and 20, this is in 2015 and 2018. Um,
ridiculous.
mhm.
That's insane. And so
When I
what
when I
is
was
the
staying in
cost?
Indonesia, it was costing me $15 a day to eat. And like and stay. Eat and stay for $15 Canadian a day.
You would see $15. Oh, really? And that's
Like
one person
and
though.
that was like including my bike rental and everything. So I was living for $15 a day.
Yeah, and again, that's what we need to
Wow.
keep in mind. Um, there they have again the two money system. Um, and so there, for example, it's cheaper to take a taxi everywhere than it is to actually even own a car. Um, because from most places, it here, let me give you an idea here. For taxi from most places, it's like $5.36 for like a 1 hour ride.
Wow.
Yeah, like you only
Five
pay five
dollars
dollars
and
and
thirty
thirty six
six
cents.
cents
Yeah, whereas here
for a
it'd be well
1 hour
over.
ride.
Whereas here it'd be closer to $100,
Oh
Right.
yeah.
or at least 60,
Easily.
because
Easily.
from my place to the airport to Winnipeg Airport, which is about 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes with a lot of traffic, is just over $50 now Canadian.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's like 10 taxi rides in Ghana.
Man, that's preposterous.
Yeah, and there's a lot of times when you get in for like a 10-minute ride, I would call it, because from where my mom was to my hotel was like about a 10-minute car ride. They just charge a flat fee
Right.
of 10 Ghana cities, which is like $1.07. It's like cheaper than taking the bus here.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See, that's just not right. That is just not right.
Well, again, the thing that's kind of weird about it there is because their gas price is just as high as it is here. Right.
It is
Well,
now.
and then like I mean, remember that when we're going there, we're paying we have earned Canadian dollar. So if I was, my friends that are over there, they're necessarily not earning Canadian dollar, right? They're earning
Of course
small
not.
money
Yeah.
on their hustling, but they are hustling. You don't see very many bit. You know how in Winnipeg or Calgary or in Canada, where you go to a red light and people are like this with their hand out or with a cup like this, they're asking you for money. They go right up to your
Of
car.
course.
In Ghana, Africa, they have a whole bunch of things while you're stopped that you can buy if you wish. It's like getting to go grocery shopping on your way home. It's freaking awesome. So nobody's asking you for money. It's a service. So like, so me, I'm just like always like, God, I wish someone would do that here because I'm thirsty right now. I could use a banana, like, right?
Well,
Just
I
come
mean,
up to the car.
and I mean, they don't have the infrastructures that we have in North America with, welfare and, you know, which is helpful, but can also be crippling, right? So there, you have to get up and do something to eat or to.
Yeah, well, here if you're on welfare, then you shouldn't be on the
Gotta
street
hustle.
begging either. So what a crazy thing. So I don't know if anybody's listening and I'm ever at a stop sign and you have a bottle of water that's like shut and not opened or something else that you're willing to sell, I might actually buy it. And then you can, I'm not giving money out anymore.
In some countries like that, sometimes when people come up to your door, that's not always a good thing, though. So
It's not
No,
a good thing.
no, for sure. But these people don't come up to your door aggressively. Like they usually have something that, it's visible that they're offering. And so you either want it or you don't. And sometimes, yeah, they'll pester you, but a lot of times you're the one that's waving them on because
Yeah, you're
they
the
have
one that's
something
called over.
that you want or that you see that, you might have need for, like water or could be even a snack or whatever it is.
I wish I had a video, and maybe I do, and if I do, I'd like to share it. That has to be one of the most talented jobs I've ever seen people do. They're carrying a lot of stuff in amongst all this traffic. It's unreal being able to exchange the money it's unreal. They're talented.
Oh, so it's like on their head? Like, is it a hat
Everything.
or is it like
everything?
just... Wow.
They have to
That's
balance
impressive.
being able to, with the money, and there's cars going by, and you're trying to. It's quick, It's quick. So if you need toilet paper on the way home,
How quick is it, Aaron? Quick.
There's this one thing we got there. It was this toffee. And if I ever make my way back to Ghana, I want to go and find that again because I would love to have more of that. Oh my God, even right now. That's the thing, you don't necessarily know if you'll get something as good as that again, But yeah, no, it's fun because they're selling whatever you want. You don't have to go off the road and go into the store.
It's convenient, I guess, yeah.
It's convenient. I love that. I love that part.
Let's circle back to, since we did stay, but we're going to talk more about Vegas. Let's circle back to a little bit of some Vegas action. Like, what was the most impressive thing about that beautiful sphere? And what made you go there first, actually?
Well, I mean, just the size of the thing, right? Honestly, it's probably the best advertising you can get, like in terms of it's almost like the Pied Piper. I want to put it in terms of like, playing the flutes and luring the mice into the water. It's just kind of, in this case, it's like a light show that lures you, right? And and it can't be denied. Like you can see it from probably almost wherever you're at in Vegas at this point right now. So you can't help but wonder what's inside of it. If the outside of it is that magnificent, it's like it's just one of those things like curiosity kill the cat, so to speak. And and I mean, get in there is mind you that weekend we went, there was a marathon in Vegas for St. Jude's with I think 40,000 something runners, and so it made traffic getting from one side of the strip to the other side of the strip, never mind just even traffic, like travel in general, really, really tough, or challenging in that sense. And so getting to the sphere was an adventure. Like I think a 2-hour adventure that we started that day because of the marathon, and taking trams or what do they call it? Trams,
like,
I guess.
rail thing?
Yeah, like from railways to footing to taxis, and walking for the most part to get there. It was an adventure getting there, but once we were there, it was more than worthwhile. Like the experience wasn't 3D in the sense, like it wasn't like but it was. Um, I'm I'm convinced that the visual effects was actually better than what it would have been with the naked eye.
That's crazy. All right,
Yeah,
all right. And
yeah,
so you're
it
saying
was crisp.
that's amazing. And
Yeah,
then how
and
many?
literally they made things seem bigger than life because like sitting there, like just picture this, like the whole, like just like how we're seeing each other right now, it kind of like wrapped all around you.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, like it
impressive.
wrapped around the whole dome, like pretty much. Yeah, you know, other than where the seats were, obviously, but it was like the whole dome was like a big screen.
How long is the show,
So
Alex?
Oh, 1 hour.
do you guys remember when we were kids? Like I'm pretty sure you'll remember this. Touch the Universe, like that. It was at the what is it? The Winnipeg Museum of Man and Nature.
Okay. No, I've been there, but don't remember that.
You don't
Which one
remember
is it?
that like kind of that bubble that they had at
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
museum.
yeah, yeah,
And
Yeah,
then
in the
remember it was just the
planetarium.
stars or whatever, and
yeah,
you would
yeah,
be
yeah,
looking up and
yeah,
everything like that.
yeah,
You know, when I saw the pictures that you showed us and everything like that, it made me go back to like when I was a kid in Winnipeg growing up and
mm-hmm.
going, this is like one of those on like steroids. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Because remember
yes,
back in the day, it was just like all the stars, and then
yeah,
Mhm.
it'd be like, oh, you can see the Big Dipper and blah blah blah. But the
mm-hmm.
vividness and the beauty of what you showed us, I was just like mind blown. Like I could
Yeah,
not believe how crazy that stuff is.
yeah,
So,
and
do you
I mean
remember
that's
seeing that stuff when you were a kid at all?
well, I
Okay.
remember going to Man in Nature a few times as a kid, and it was the astronomy or the universe, which was always fascinating and always been a cool thing. And honestly, this thing, something like that, this thing with space there, oh my God. I can only imagine like if they ever did a space one, like it'd be worth the trip alone to see. Yeah, and I'm sure
Yeah.
they will. It's just a matter of time. Because yeah, they had this Earth show, they had the U2 show, and I can't remember what other shows, but they've had a few different shows now that very well produced, very well put together, and just jaw dropping.
It's all about the experience in Vegas, right? Like
Yeah.
that's every time I've ever gone, it's just an experience. It doesn't, and it's
No,
an experience like no other. Like
no, for
if
sure.
it's Cirque du Soleil, how many different shows of Cirque du Soleil they have? But now I guess this sphere is just going to take over from that. I'm wondering how that'll play out against Cirque du Soleil. Is Cirque du Soleil still there?
Oh
Have
yeah,
you
yeah, they're
seen
still
any
there.
shows there? Yeah, oh, they are.
I
Okay.
didn't this time, but I did years ago. Yeah.
So I'm just staring out there and Pa and Oh and oh man. And they just I'm just like, take my money, take my money. Not anymore
Yeah.
because I mean that'll cost me what
Yeah.
40 cents on a dollar, but I mean, damn,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good place to
oh good
visit.
old
That's for
Vegas.
sure.
and sure, there's some YouTube videos on YouTube at the Sphere. So I'll send that
Really?
out to you
Oh
guys
sweet.
right now to check out.
Please, please.
Yeah, and you guys
Yeah.
actually I think with this you get a feel for the stage and everything like that.
Cool.
Nice. So
Yeah,
there's an
here I'll send that
actual
to you
stage in
right
there.
now.
It's epic.
Yeah, here you go.
Oh, I can't wait to see that one. I'm gonna check that out for sure.
Yeah, so in
Wait.
that sense, God, when you think about it, it's like $300 for YouTube tickets during the week. Yeah, because everyone was going on about this thing, so I can't imagine. But yeah, it was the actual band playing with the effects all in the back.
Awesome.
That
Like a whole other
is
Disney World.
probably just remarkable.
Yeah,
What's that?
yeah.
Like a whole other Disney World.
What? Like
Like a
Vegas to
whole
me
other
is
Disney
Disney
World, you
World.
know? Yeah, they just
Hmm.
every year all these places just outdo themselves. You think that this is the most spectacular thing that could ever be built. And then there's something else. then there's something else too, right? So we got
No,
lots of
yeah,
choices,
absolutely.
you know.
I just
Another
don't get how they can
adventure
talk
that
themselves like this.
might be pretty cool for this year in my family is at the Universal Studios. There's a whole thing about Nintendo and Mario and these sorts of things. And I got 10 years, I mean, he's going to be 10 and he loves that kind of stuff. So, you know, there's all sorts of like really neat things out there for you to enjoy and your family to be able to join with you. It sounds cool.
Absolutely.
It sounds cool. I've been to Las Vegas for a long time, so I appreciate the update. So he's busy
Yeah.
there.
Vegas is
Oh yeah, no,
ridiculous.
well,
I love
that's
that.
the thing, and you know, when they say a city that never sleeps is so true. Like,
Right?
yeah, it's actually kind of crazy that way.
Yeah,
There's just
yeah.
so
Like
much damn
one
stuff
of
to
my favorite
see.
trips to Las Vegas is when we spent a lot of our time at the pool because we were like, because it was I never been to a pool anything like that before, and it was just so the weather was hot and dry and nice, and we hung around the pool. Like that
Hotel.
was yeah. I don't know what hotel that was, but I'd have to get back to you or ask
No
you.
worries.
Those
I
are like
know
that's
the
some of my
Mirage.
favorite times when I was in Las Vegas is that. And then plus also I took my mother to Magic Mike. Me, my daughter, and my mother to Magic Mike, and she
Really?
told me there's no way I want anyone rubbing up against me. I'm like, well, that's okay. Tell them to rub up against me instead then. You know, I'm okay with that. But yes, they picked my mother. They were all over.
That's wild. Oh my God.
Just such a
Did
good
she
sport. She's kind of mad at us.
did you love it
But anyway,
afterwards?
no,
No, not at all.
no, my mom doesn't want to go to those kinds of things. She wants to go to different things. So, anyways, we've been there like with a mother, grandmother, and daughter. So, you know, I do believe that to be true, it's also a family place, right? Like you went with your son, right, Alex? So it doesn't always have to just be your friends, and you know, and it's it's fun. It's fun.
Oh,
Keep on
Vegas.
doing real
I
time,
love it.
guys.
Yeah, no, highly
Thank you.
recommended.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Well, it was a pleasure speaking to you guys on this fine Sunday morning where we are anticipating a snowstorm of like the century. So
Yeah,
I was supposed to,
it's been a non-event so far.
right, so I was supposed to have a
Don't
day
worry,
pass today
guys.
of some sort, and it gets
It's
canceled
coming.
earlier in the day because this bad storm's coming. So I'm bummed out about that, of course, but I'm like, oh, whatever, the storm's coming. You better be stay warm. I wake up this morning, there is no storm.
Don't worry, it's coming. It left here and it's coming to you because it for the last 2 days it's been bananas. And if you look on like YouTube or you look anywhere like Instagram, like and more crazy like multi-car like accident. That
Okay, so
was 2 days
you're telling
ago.
us to bear
Like
down.
it's been bizarre. What was that?
You're telling us to bear down still.
Oh yeah, you definitely should because there's so much freaking snow here. Like it's freaking unbelievable. We were
Really?
literally green and like warm and everything like that, and then this storm came. It's minus 21 right now.
Oh wow.
It was plus 9. I want to say 6 days ago, and then this shit storm started coming.
Well, and this is
Don't
another
worry, it's coming
over
your way. That's what I was told. It's moving this. It's
well, we've
moving
been hearing for
east.
days it's been heading this way. So like all plans
Yeah.
altered yesterday, and it's like midday now, and like I guess I don't want to be taking my chances. Got to be more safe, but
It's not quite midday. I mean, it's 11 there, so it's coming. It's coming.
it's
It might
midday
be
for me.
late, but it's coming.
I'm an early bird, so it's you know almost nap time for me.
Well, yeah, they're
By the
showing
time
it.
you wake up,
They're showing it at midnight now again. That it's coming at midnight.
Okay, so we still got
oh,
if anything needs to
down
be
and
done, we
bear
still got
down.
about 12 hours of time to do it.
Well, there's 80% chance, so
Hey, Alex,
good.
if we got anything to do, we got about 12 hours to do it.
There you
I
go.
mean, there's a small chance I might miss us altogether. Yeah, because it's supposed to be actually get
You guys, we've been very blessed with some very, very unusual and good weather, but the snow will do, like we are in drought here over here in Canada, and fresh big dumpings of snow will do a whole bunch of favors. Like, so if not the havoc that it takes on us and our homes and ourselves, but for our earth right now. And next,
Oh yeah,
like we need, I'm just saying, I'm not a fan of snow.
absolutely agree.
I'm telling you the truth.
No, but you know what? You're a fan of the earth, and I get where you're coming from because, like, this year we already had our first forest fire out here in Alberta, and that is 10 days earlier, which I had no idea. Forest fire season started in March, but this year it
Mm.
started in February out here, which is yet again a mind-blowing experience. I think it was up in Banff and Banff and Camor that were like literally on fire. So this snow, although I'm not too jazzed about it having it in my backyard, at least it's gonna really kind of stamp down those fires. So hopefully, hopefully we're not gonna have a drought. I don't want too much rain, but I get what we need.
So
The ground needs
I
it.
would like
So
to see, I would like to see the water restrictions lifted off of the Calgarian area so people can enjoy their sprinklers and kids can go to the park. It is like 30 plus degrees outside sometimes, and all water facilities closed because of water restriction. So if this is what we have to take so the kids can play in the water, hopefully, and we can in the summer.
this is true. Amen to
Stay
that.
warm, everyone. Stay warm. Stay
There you
warm.
go. Well, this has been a great Sunday Real Talk, talking Vegas. Please like, subscribe, and follow. And we love you, everybody. Talk to you soon. This has been Real Talk.
See ya.
Cheers.